All right, thank you, Chairwoman McCollum, and also want to thank Ranking Member Calvert for holding the hearing today. And General Milley and Secretary Austin, thanks for your service. Thanks for your leadership. I appreciate what Congressman Carter just asked, because that was among my questions. Really grateful for you saying that the Army will not be left behind with the Rock Island Arsenal in the congressional district that I serve. That's very, very important to me. Let me then go to the National Defense Strategy places tremendous emphasis on the use of disruptive technologies in a way to counter threats from our near peer competitors. Additive and advanced manufacturing is one of those disruptive technologies that has the potential to significantly change how we address supply chain issues. Completely rethinking how we can develop certain weapon systems with significant savings. And I know we see some of these real opportunities to have advanced manufacturing revolutionize how we do infrastructure work as well. So I ask this because the Rock Island Arsenal, again, in the congressional district that I serve, it's designated as the Army's Advanced Manufacturing Center of Excellence and has been doing a lot to support the Army's broad goals for this capability. I'd like to get your thoughts on the importance of advanced and additive manufacturing to the future defense spending. Mr. Secretary, why don't we start with you, and then General Milley, if you could add to what the Secretary has to say.
I thank you very much for the question. I think this capability is you use the term disruptive. I absolutely agree that it's these kinds of things that will create that increase that competitive edge that we want to maintain and increase. And so being able to do things differently, but also do them in forward position areas, I think is critical. So the work that's ongoing, I cannot say enough about, and my goal will be to leverage the work that's ongoing, but to also increase our efforts and speed things up if at all possible.
And I would add to that, Congresswoman, as we look at the future operating environment, the change in the character of war, the joint warfighting concept, some of the attributes that jump out at you are units are going to have to be smaller, more widely distributed. They're going to have to be able to sustain themselves, because long lines of communication that are quite vulnerable to enemy activity may or may not work in some future conflict. So units are going to have to be very self-sufficient, and additive manufacturing is a key component to that in the logistics chain. So the supply chain, you're going to have to produce your own things, your own spare parts are going to have to be produced locally for you to function as a unit. That's going to be true in ground, probably true at sea, and perhaps air might be a little different, but for sure for ground forces, that'll be a critical component to success.
Yeah, so we're looking for.
And General Milley, I know that you've been to the Rock Island Arsenal, and we'd love to have you back. And Secretary Austin, we'd love to have you there as well. There's really a lot to show off there, so I'll extend that invitation. I know you probably get a lot of these. I do have a little bit more time, so I'm going to switch gears to the Air Force for a second. We have an Air National Guard base, the 182nd Airlift Wing in the congressional district I serve as well in Peoria, Illinois. And I really some deep concerns with Senator Duckworth, with Senator Durbin, and I about the Air Force's plans to decrease the effectiveness and flexibility of the National Guard C-130 divestments. I know that the National Guard insists that the C-130 is valuable to the homeland for our defense mission here at home, as well as to meet overseas tactical requirements. The flexibility and readiness of the National Guard will be negatively impacted by any reduction in the C-130s. Air Force doesn't believe the current fleet of C-130s are needed in a high-end flight in near-peer adversary, and the National Guard insists that the C-130s are instrumental to their protection of the homeland. Does it make more sense to recapitalize the Air National Guard C-130Hs with the active component C-130J fleet? And if you could maybe weigh in on that, it's something that we're very concerned about in my neck of the woods.
I can't comment on the specific decisions on the C-130 that the Air Force is making. I would tell you that, as you pointed out, the C-130 has been and will continue to be, in my view, a very important piece of the inventory. the old saying amongst pilots is that when the most advanced fighter goes to the boneyard, the pilot will get a ride back on a C-130. Now, in terms of the specific capabilities of an H model versus a J model, and what the Air Force wishes to gain by investing in more of one or the other, again, I'd have to have the Air Force lay that out for you in detail.
Okay, well, we'll follow up. I'm out of time right now, and I'll yield back, but we will follow up with you, Mr. Secretary. I yield back, Madam Chair.
I know you were hoping for a big reveal, Ms. Bustos. Good try.